Say, was that another tire?
It sounds like it.
She was in 19th.
She was running 19th.
Underneath Casey Kane. Looks like Casey went to go
Casey just
tuck in behind her and just misjudged it. Got into her right rear, turned her into the wall. Hard impact.
Man, right down the straightaway here. Whew.
All right, let's hear Casey Kane's side of what happened here.
Pretty sure I hooked her right there, but I feel like she started coming up the track. I might be wrong.
Moments ago, Joey Logano, you know the history with him and Matt Kenseth. Kenseth, again, wrecking and saying Joey bumped him out of the line. This is him saying and warning Logano after the race moments ago. You can interpret what he's saying when the finger is pointed in the direction of Joey Logano. And this was earlier with 15 to go. Kenseth was bumped out of line. Then when he got back in, he was involved in the wreck with Danica Patrick, blaming Joey Logano for that. Remember last year he had the suspension.
What'd Matt say?
Nah, not much. Just, you know, it's unfortunate. We had a pretty decent car. I wouldn't say it's the fastest car out there. It took us all day to get towards the front, but we positioned ourselves well. At the end there, I guess it was around 20 to go up there in the front row, and actually up there in the lead. So it's proud of what our Shell Pennzoil team did. We worked hard all day, just unfortunately didn't end up as well as we'd like to. 2 days in a row, a couple big hits. So can't wait to get out of this place.
I just got ran over by a bozo, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the kid's brain dead or he can't see or what, but our Allegiant Travel Chevrolet was unbelievable tonight. You know, we had to start in the back. Obviously, drove to the front and had to come from the back again just because the way the pit sequence worked out. And just proud of everybody at GMS Racing, GMS Fabrication, all the guys at the shop. They build awesome trucks. Just this thing was fun to drive tonight, and it's just unfortunate that sometimes you can't race like
so far yet in his career. During that rain delay, Ryan Reed and Ryan Sieg, they were involved in an incident. They had to be physically separated. Their crews got into a scuffle. This is a view from Reed's car. The driver's involved in a crash prior to the garage.
John West Townley and Spencer Gallagher exchanging words, and they're going at it. This is going to be good here.
Oh, the trucks aren't coming.
John West Townley and Spencer Gallagher down there in turn 1. And there's points for a takedown. And the fans are loving it. Townley and Gallagher. John West Townley landed a couple of good blows there. And I'm not sure if the fight was over or they just got too tired to continue.
Oh, he can't get that truck turned. See, he's heading in the wrong direction. It's pushing. It didn't make the turn, and they're 3 wide. Oh, and they crash.
Big crash, and they're still together, and we're still green, not yellow yet. Rico and Quapple, are they going to get separated? They were connected there for a moment.
They still are.
They finally separate, and there's some significant damage. Quapple is not happy.
No, I don't think Travis Quapple is trying to separate. I believe he felt like Rico ran him up into the wall, and he wasn't happy about it. Hey, Brew just can't get the truck to turn. We talked about it's pushing in the corners, but he got hung on the side of Cole Custer, and it shot him over in to Travis Quapple. And this is a point where Quapple said, I don't appreciate how you raced.
This is on board with Rico at the restart.
It's just super tight. I don't know if they had, you know, really low air pressure in it or what, but it just wouldn't turn at all. So you put rear brake in it, and it helps, you know, lock those rear wheels up and just helps it initially turn to the center there.
Aggressive goes around. That's right. Mark Truex Jr. spins.
There's a lot of contact on turn 7. Like the two got into the back of the 78. Mark Truex is not happy about it. There was also contact further back with Allmendinger.
Hamlin grabs his first road course win of his career. And it's still not settled between the 78 and 2. Hand going out the window for Brad. And let's listen in what Brad had to say.
I think he was going to come up in front of me. Sorry, Mark.
kind of rough up the 11. I wanted to be outside to make a crossover, see if I couldn't get both. And at the last minute, he came back up when I was already committed. That's my fault. Luckily, with the way this chase is, I know he probably won't hear it. Doesn't hurt you too bad, but all in all, just another one of those Watkins Glen crazy days.
Oh, he said it was his fault. I said I knew that. Simple as that. It's all good. It's just hard racing. I just wanted him to know that I wasn't happy after the race. As far as the rest of it, it's not a big deal. It's hard racing, road course. Going for the win at the end. Thought I might have got a run off 11 there on the 11 if I hadn't got spun around.
John Hunter Nemechek wants the flag, and they're not going to give it to him yet. Oh, now we got it. Cole Custer and Nemechek. Cole Custer did not like the way that race ended. Did not like the way John Hunter Nemechek moved him.
Phil, you talked about racing people the way you want to be raced. As John Hunter Nemechek heads into the chase for the championship this fall, you've got a guy like Cole Custer that feels like he'd been done wrong. That could injure Chase a little bit prematurely.
Yeah, he may make it a mission to make sure that 8 truck doesn't go very far in the chase.
Round goes to 13. Casey Mears catches it, and the caution's going to come out.
And I'm so glad I'm sitting up here because the stress level for these pit crews, these drivers, and these crew chiefs, it's only going up.
Running out of tires.
The 13 here getting into the back of the 93, goes down into the corner. And I think he's going to get a little help.
Yes, I do too. I think 93 was upset.
Yep.
Just turn him around, getting into the corner.
Not the first time we've seen that. It's easy to predict the help. You've seen enough upset drivers. But as we mentioned, all these teams work together, and the list of how many tires they're going to have, this as we ride on more with Casey Mears, you see.
And look at where Martin Truex Jr. is right now in relation to what's taking place. Because of the pit road speeding penalty, he's right near that chaos that ensued.
He has a misunderstanding of the call at the end of the race. He'll understand it, and I'm sure he'll clear it up in his interview. For us, we're great teammates. We're doing good together. We have to work together to beat all these other teams out there, and he knows that.
He cleaned the side of our car out after the checkered flag, so I don't really understand that. But all in all, our Jimmy John Chevrolet did a great job and didn't have a scratch on it until then, so that's pretty good for Talladega.
Did Kurt have any explanation for you?
Not really.
Team meeting later, maybe?
Probably.
Well, upset with Ben Kennedy having conversation down in the garage area. Frustrated with Ben Rhodes.
We talked about it. There were going to be some hurt feelings after the race. Always is here.
We talked about in the open, fighting for space, and then maybe some fighting in the garage afterwards. And Kennedy, it is tight quarters racing, and there's no question Rhodes got into the back end of him. Whether or not that's just part of it at Martinsville, or whether Ben's got a real beef there.
From what I saw, Ben Kennedy should be upset. He didn't cut Ben Rhodes off. They were in the center of the corner, and Ben Rhodes just hit him right in the back. When you get hit right in the back and spun around, that's excessive, no matter where you're at. But again, Vince, like you said, it's Martinsville. There's going to be contact. Ben just felt like it was enough contact that he needed to explain to Rhodes what he thought about it.
He just wrecked us, plain and simple. He'd given us a headache all day. He tried to wreck us earlier. He failed at it, and he wrecked us over in turn 2. So it's really unfortunate. We're racing here for a chase, and he wants to race him that way. I'm going to race him back that way.
Folks are a little frustrated with one another. That's Haley in that orange truck on the right side, and you see the contact with the 4 of Christopher Bell.
It looked like the 00 truck of Cole Custer moved over, and that shot Bell down into Haley, and then look at this. Haley just takes that spot away.
And then after the checkered flag, they get together.
You tell him to come talk to me. I cleared him. It was going to be about 2 inches. We had to take the air. He bounced it off the wall.
Man, it was just hard racing there at the end. Cameron got a big run on me off of 2, and he'd been running the middle of 3 and 4, so I moved up. Well, then he shot the gap on the bottom and almost had me clear, and I should have lifted, but I stayed in it and we got run into the fence.
At that last restart, I didn't know what happened. I guess they went 3 wide and Christopher got loose and got into me, and we got a pretty bad right front tire rub. And that had nothing to do on the last lap. I mean, I apologize for that to him. I know he's in the chase, and my spotter was calling clear, clear, clear. I need to go apologize to him. It's not the way I wanted to race the chaser.
We just heard Haley say he needed to get with Christopher and explain the situation, and that's exactly what you're seeing right here.
Yeah, I just love the fact that that young man went to seek out Christopher Bell to tell him, hey, my fault. I didn't mean it. I didn't want to race you that way, and that's exactly what he's saying.
Here's what the 4 had to say about what just took place.
Damaged us. So I just, as he came up, I got back to him and he checked up and I touched him again.
And here's what the 3 car and their team thought happened.
Yeah, he flat out wrecked it, man. Just write down that number. We're going to Phoenix next week. He's going to have to win. We don't. That's crazy, man.
He sucked down on my door tighter than anybody had all night. He knew how tight he was in my door. That's why I got tight and slid in front of him. So he didn't check. He had the opportunity to. He didn't like it, I guess. Silver Spoon Kid was outrunning him tonight, so it'll be all right. We got 2 weeks left, and we just want to come out and win a race.
Yeah, we heard Slugger say, hey, write down that number. We're going to Phoenix where he's going to need a win and you don't. What are your thoughts on moving forward?
I don't know. I'm here to win races. That's all that matters to me.
Well, I thought the 14 would at least attempt to go. He just kind of sat there and didn't really even attempt to go. So that's pretty unfortunate. Really not a lot of respect for, guys chasing out the championship. But I thought we were in an okay spot if he had gotten up to speed and we would have been able to kind of go to the top and make something happen. But didn't even get really that chance. We were to turn 1 and we were like 8th place. So